Doing our inspection, we are able to identify that property 2, volume 2172, folio 10, plot 10, Blickington Road, Workers' House, hosting the NSSF head office, has no title. We noted that the land registered issues, the lands registry issued a notice for Alcon to return the title, but Alcon did not comply with that notice. We are also aware that the fund is following up with the land registry to get a special titles. But as we speak now, the title is not there. Number 2, while the fund has hired 3 custodians, we noted with concern that the custodians are only responsible for safekeeping of assets held outside Uganda. And all bank transactions of the fund are handled outside the custodian's operations, which has limited our oversight function. And number 4, the fund still had some titles relating to the Temangalo land that had not yet been transferred into the names of the fund.
Alcon holding the title does not mean they own the property. The property is still owned by NSSF. At that point, it was given as security, the same way you go to a bank and you give your security. The bank does not take over ownership of that property. But at that point, from that court judgment, it meant that Alcon did not have any further claims as had been presented to court against NSSF. So following that judgment is when then NSSF decided to follow up for the certificate of title because they had discharged their duty to Alcon.
And the fund is in the process of applying for a special title, but it has not yet been issued. Probably those are some of the challenges.
Where? Please let us stop populist and blackmail. Let us stop it. Some of us do our work as patriots, as nationalists.
Is the minister in order to keep referring to blackmail, imputing that it is us or whoever is blackmailing her, and the instances under which she's being blackmailed?
Who is a populist before I can make a ruling on that order?
I have seen the press, especially social media. I want to, by the way, appreciate the established press, the Monitor, the New Vision, NTV, NBS. I want to appreciate them. But there are specific online, they call them what? Online news website that have been blackmailing me on the 6 billion.
So, Honorable, she particularly mentioned my name. I don't know if she has interfered with me on the committee yet. I believe it's the first time we are meeting on the committee, so I believe it's best that she withdraws my name because I don't think she has gotten information from me yet as concerning this investigation. And I feel offended when she brings up things like she has been in Parliament for over 20 years. We are all patriots here. And me, I don't care even if I've been here 1 year or I'll be here for 5 years. But what matters is what have I done in the 5 years. So some of these statements, I find them being offensive and perhaps trying to intimidate and threaten some of us on this committee, which we shall not tolerate.
Make a ruling on the other order. You have seen the honorable member is not happy that you referred to him in your earlier presentation. Can you withdraw the statement you made about the honorable member before I rule on the order?
On page 9, under the beginning paragraph starting with colleagues, I stated, Honorable Chair, that these strategic initiatives were considered, and I made reference to the media report I have seen indicating that the member had said I approved. So in that regard, I withdraw because I was making reference based on circumstances where I read only in the press, but I've not yet heard from him. So for that, I withdraw.
You disagree. In the meeting, I disagree. You disagreed with who?
In principle, with who?
With my colleague, the minister. Minister of Gender.
So, in principle, it was irregular, Honorable Minister. Was it irregular for the minister to ask for the 6 billion?
I think I am repeating, really to me, it is irregular because a ministry that is supervising that body should not ask for money to run the affairs of the ministry, even if it is that those affairs are related to the fund. They should request money from the treasury. We give them the money for treasury, and then because this money is not our money. Please, let's be very clear. This money is workers' money. My understanding is like, for example, I have been running the show as Minister of Finance. I'm short of money for sure, but I will never ask the fund to give me money, because those are not funds for public expenditure.
I also saw it on social media, and that's where I got the print off from social media. And there's all these allegations about me. They have not been presented to me. They are very wild. There is no evidence. It's just like somebody walking into a bar and basically saying, you took 3 billion shillings of a kickback, right? You sold a plot in Mbarara belonging to the fund and exchanged money. You used the services of Symbion. I didn't. And so on and so forth. I mean, they are very unfair. And the IGG, who is meant to investigate this, hasn't even been in touch with me. So I have heard about allegations. I have heard about investigations. Nobody, this is my first encounter anywhere in the world about my employment at NSSF. So if any of you were me, you would feel really bad. In fact, I call myself a victim. I know the Honorable Minister and the fund have tried to portray me as a villain. And to be quite frank, I am a victim and I feel really bad. I will tell you that I tried to be very strong with this thing, but on Saturday there was a capital gang where one Richard Otua, who I believe came to this committee, made horrible allegations, and I broke down and cried for the very first time. Because I felt that, why am I being subjected to this when I have done a good job? I was going to start by showing you how much work we have done with the team over the last 10 years. I was going to demonstrate to you in my presentation that the fund has never done like this since it was started.